it's pretty fucking good. Like it really fits. Like it all kind of, I don't know. It's great.
Cool. Well, we're live now, so people should check out the fan-made music video for Kitchen Crew. What's the title again? Blue?
Feeling blue.
Feeling Blue.
Yep.
Probably lots of blue stuff in there.
No, oddly not.
Ah,
No,
okay.
no. There's a lot of like driving videos. Like, see, when I put together a fan video, it like I I sort of listen and listen and listen, and then kind of get the vibe of it, and I'm like, this sounds like it should have this here and that there, and then I go and I scour the interwebs for videos of stuff um, that sort of fit that, and that is actually what takes the most time is finding something that
Yeah.
like has just the right whatever it might be. Um, it it takes a long time, but you know
Yeah.
when it all comes together at the very end, it's like man. Then see this is the problem. It's like I sit there and I watch it and rewatch it and rewatch it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
God damn, this is good. Like this is good. Oh, okay. I feel like I accomplished a thing. Um,
Mhm. Yeah. Like I I do really enjoy the what we've built with this show. Um,
mhm,
in all the facets and nooks and crannies, and
mhm.
even the stuff that maybe like was a good idea but didn't pan out, like KSU or Kitchen
KSU
Sink
stuff.
University stuff,
Yeah,
because like the amount of work that went into it, and even the
massive amount of
minute
work.
microscopies were a lot of work, even though they were the shortest.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
so, stuff like that kind of petered off a little bit, but it it evolved into something more than those alone,
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
as standalone objects or whatever. Like, um, you know, the idea of kitchen sink university, for instance, I think is actually really good. Something to put a pin in
Yep.
for like if we ever grow the channel to the point where we have more people uh, involved in like making it or contributing content to it or something, then
Mhm.
I would see like a purpose in reviving that as kind of like a side channel or whatever. Um, because it is cool to like
Mhm.
provide education about things that you know about, but of
Well,
course YouTube's saturated with that anyway. So
yeah. Yeah.
it's not like it's something that we need to make like a staple of, but
Mhm.
just in general, what we've built here with coming up with ideas and really drilling into them, um, you know, and maybe coming back to them later with fresh perspective or new ideas from other things that we talked about and tying everything together. That's what we do really well, I think, is like
Yeah.
connecting all the dots and stuff. And and that's what I'm super excited about with building this wiki, which is gonna take a long time, but to get really finished to a level where we could actually turn it into like a proper website format
Mm.
with forums and whatnot, and viewer contribution perhaps, but just building the knowledge base that we've already kind of established is really exciting because once it's all together, it'll be so easy to compile everything that's
Mhm.
related and like interconnect it all and be able to like query the system for ideas that we've discussed and like have it pull it all together and really sit down, flesh it out, like create like video series for people to like watch on it, or have AI like tell us, with the subtitle transcripts, it'll have the timestamps and everything. We can be like, give us the timestamps for these pertinent points or whatever, and we can just pull them out of the video, compile them into one succinct video on the topic,
Hmm.
like cool shit like that, right? And
Yeah.
and then people can actually sit and watch like a condensed package of kitchen sink microscopy over years, fleshing out a really cool idea, and then
Hmm.
get their feedback on it and flesh it out even further. Like that's how I'm envisioning season 9 forward
Oh
being,
yeah.
where we just kind of pick a topic and really flesh it out over the year or something.
Mhm.
Even if we went down to like recording once a month or something, but really getting like a lot of people on board, like planning, and everybody does like a little bit and then brings it to the conversation once a month or something. Like,
Hmm.
how cool would that be? Especially if we start building like social experiments and stuff that,
Yeah.
we could, I mean, change the world.
Sure. And collaboration. That's really
Hmm.
the most important thing. It's like everybody has this notion. I'm a prepper, and in the prepper community, there's the concept of the lone wolf, which, well, if you want to die,
Yeah.
that's the way to go. Um, no, it takes a village, essentially. You need other people that know how to do things, to contribute and put
Hmm.
it all together. You can't go it alone. I mean, yeah, you could like go all like Rambo or something like that, but like, what kind of life is that?
Yeah.
Like, and that's, for me as a prepper, I want to live a good life. I want it to be independent of like the old school government structure. Um, but like, I know that I can't. I mean, I know how to do a lot of stuff, but there's no way that I'm going to be able to do it by myself, and that would be, well, it'd be lonely. you
Yeah.
know, like, I'd rather have a bunch of people around me that know how to do stuff. We can all work together, and
Yeah.
and like, if you want to build a better future, that's what you need. And yeah, and you got to have a community.
Yeah. You know, that reminds me of something that happened last night. I was in Amsterdam to see Billy Talent, this Canadian band,
Mm-hmm.
and they're super huge, like here in the greater Germany area.
Mm-hmm.
Um, very popular and very active crowd. Everybody knows all the words and everything. It's a really cool experience. Anyway, about middle of the show, they were doing like a 20th anniversary, playing an album front to back. Around the middle of the album, they kind of took like a short break and were just kind of like, you know what, like there's just like one kind of rule here that we all take care of each other. If somebody falls, you pick them up. If somebody needs help, you help them. And everyone's
Yeah.
cheering. Yeah, like that's great. Anyway, end of the show. See, everyone seemed to agree with that, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the show, they throw some drumsticks and guitar picks and whatnot. Anyway, they throw a drumstick to this one girl, and then another girl grabs it, and they're just like death grip and like fighting for it for like 5 minutes. And then like an old lady comes and she just tries to grab it. So there's now three ladies like fighting each other, and just none of them will give up. And there's a death grip, and they're sweating, and they're and they're angry. Like,
Jesus.
this is stuff like I couldn't believe my eyes. I was like, did you not hear what your favorite band just fucking said?
Yeah,
Like,
their message was like, yeah,
yeah. and
community. Hmm.
and and the thought occurred to me. It's like, yeah, community messages might have a lot of power, but when it comes down to the individual decision, all that stuff just kind of gets wiped away.
Yeah.
And and there was no security to be found, and of course, like, nobody really wants to interfere, and so they just kind of like just sat there fighting for like 5 minutes
He
over it
like let it happen.
until the old lady took the drumstick and like jabbed it into the stomach of the girl that they were throwing it to in the first place.
The
So she
hell.
let go and then she just like stormed off, like all pissed off with this old lady just like wrestled a drumstick away from some girl in her 20s and was proud of herself, I guess. Like
Oh man, that's crazy. Well,
it's
and
like
and that's why like you do need some kind of community, like some sort of like enforcers, people to kind of keep the peace, whatever it might be.
mhm.
Uh, who that's their job is to keep the peace, because people get stupid.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's unavoidable. I don't like the idea of it being like elected officials and this whole government process. Like I think that ends up putting the wrong people in those positions, but we do need those positions,
Hmm.
in my opinion. Like
And I
even
think
in an
that's the
anarchist
key.
society, you do need some people who are like peacekeepers.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's the key is just, like it can go wrong and
mhm.
you hit the nail on the head because the wrong people are there. So it
Yeah.
should just be as simple as making sure you're not putting the wrong people there, making sure that
Mhm.
the people you do put there can't be corrupted into becoming the wrong people because
Yeah.
you just have to build the mechanism so that it's
I
corruption proof, you know?
Well, and I think nothing's going to be corruption proof, but I think to minimize that, um, limit the scope of what these people are tasked with doing.
Yeah.
Like, if your entire job is just making sure people don't fucking stab each other with drumsticks, that's your job. Just make sure that people aren't fighting each other. Who cares anything beyond that? Well, then yeah, you're going to get people who that they really care. People
Well,
from the
there's the
community.
concept of the flat hierarchy,
Mm-hmm.
um, which could actually be beneficial in preventing something like that from happening where, like there are sections that are responsible for certain things and
Mm-hmm.
kind of collectively make decisions on those things rather than, you know, few people at the top making decisions
Yes.
that
See,
drive the whole organization.
that's the issue is the
Mhm.
people at the top. You need like almost like a circular where like everything is sort of checking everything else, which I think was the original vision of the US. Like everything is like, oh, you have these institutions that are kind of like checks and balances, right? But then now they've all become uber powerful
Yeah.
to the point where like you can't even check them. Like,
Right.
what do we have left? I mean, we barely have the First Amendment. We barely have the Second Amendment. And we definitely don't have the Fourth Amendment. um, like it, and then the system is being like, well, why are people pissed off? Well, what do you mean why?
Yeah.
It's we've kind of gone back to royalty at this point. Um, I think, like
Yeah.
you're the only way you're ever going to get into some kind of like position, like powerful position within the U.S. government, is to be wealthy, um,
Mhm.
or have connections with wealthy people,
Yeah.
and then you become wealthy and more
Yeah,
wealthy.
yeah, I was about to say that in the end, you
Yeah.
always become wealthy
Yep.
if that's the
What?
direction you end up going. Yeah.
Look at people in the Senate and Congress and stuff. Like they're all fucking millionaires.
Yeah.
Like compare their net worth to their wages. Like it shouldn't be. It should be like military service where you kind of get your ass beat for a while, but you do a job and you do it because you care about your community And yeah, you probably don't get paid that much, but if you do a good job, you get a statue at the end of your tenure or something. Like that's how it ought to be.
Mhm.
Like, oh, man, because think about it. Like, who who goes back and thinks about like any politician from the last like 40 years and is like, oh yeah, they're great. Agnew, great politician. you know, like okay. Dick
It's
Cheney.
it's seldom. Yeah.
Yeah. Like yeah, there's very, very few. And well, because they're all like and I can't fault people because it's sort of like if you're expecting things to I don't know. It's almost like there's a pool table full of cocaine and a bunch of straws. And you're like, yeah, what could possibly go wrong? Like, oh, everybody's gonna mind their own business. And then pretty soon it's a fucking orgy. Um like and like, oh, who could have seen that coming? Like like that's we have to change that, I guess.
Right. And that that very possibly should be kind of our first goal, let's say, as as a social project or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
in this scheme of trying to build a manual for making the world a better place,
Mm-hmm.
um, sort of start with, okay, what got us here and what should be fixed to
Mm-hmm.
prevent that from happening in the future? Should we ever have a chance to actually start fresh,
Yeah.
rather than just doing the French Revolution thing and cutting off heads and being like, okay, now we can start fresh. Well, now
Yeah.
what?
Oh my God. Now what? Yep, exactly.
It's better to maybe like have an idea, have a plan, and
Ro-
then cut the heads off, you know?
Robespierre is like, finally, they're all dead. And then all of a sudden, oh, what the? Yeah, there's a time for that, for like having to use force. But it should be measured. And there has to be a plan at the end. Like you have to have sort of a structure, a concept of like this is what we want to do, and then yeah, recognize the flaws, the cracks in the system. I mean, it's engineering, really.
Yeah,
It should come down to like, hey, let's do it like engineers. We
not civil engineers though.
no fuck no, they're all crackheads. Oh, man. Jesus. um but it should be an engineering sort of thing. Where okay, well, we plan things out, um, and we create a structure, and then we start working on it. And then if there's resistance from the system, okay, well, that's the time you pick up your AK. Like, okay, well, every once in a while you might have to uh, pop a few heads. Um, hmm.
I just popped your brains.
Yeah. The deadly assassin. Hmm.
Yeah, I know last week we were talking a little bit about like a new system of currency, and a regular viewer of ours, Jabroni, seemed like he was getting a little nervous that that kind of talk was going to bring down the hammer of the government. And I
It
I
will.
don't I mean I don't necessarily agree with that on a few grounds. Like one, we're nobody. We're
True.
very little fish in a very
Hmm.
large ocean. So, I mean, that's not to say it couldn't eventually become a problem, but I think the way to approach that carefully to so that it doesn't become a problem is to constantly be making it well known that your intentions are anything but bloody revolution. Like
Yes.
like the whole goal is to do something that's good for everybody without costing anybody their lives.
Yeah,
Um,
because it should be a peaceful thing. Like,
yeah.
oh, hey, everybody is democracy, democracy, democracy. They talk about it all the time. And it's like, okay, well, when like 90% of the population is kind of pissed off and fed up, okay, what about democracy now? Like, why don't you just step down, let some other people come in and come up with I don't know. Like
Yeah.
the system definitely is not working, not benefiting people. Um, I mean, like Washington State is a good example. There's a whole like I guess there's a revenue crisis now in Washington State. Like there's not enough money, even though they just had the largest tax hike in Washington State history. There's not enough money, and I'm like, where is all that money going? Can can we at least have a conversation about that? Like I
Mhm.
because it's like, all right, I don't mind paying dues for stuff. Like, oh, keeping the roads maintained and maintaining the power grid and all that shit. Like, I think that's fair. And helping the helpless. That's fair. But when you're when they're like, oh, that isn't enough, and then they don't even do the bare minimum, yeah, but people are rightfully pissed off. I'm pissed
Yeah,
off.
it it is it is an individual problem. There just happens to be a lot of problematic individuals.
Well,
And
and when
when they,
they're bringing in six figures,
yeah,
like, and then
like,
telling us like, oh, you got to tighten your belt,
but
because
yeah. I mean, that is definitely a problem. And what I'm driving at is that like when I had my first research job out of university, um, shortly after I started, we hired a new VP of R&D, a guy from Switzerland, super nice guy. Um, he was very, uh, like down in the trenches. He would he he talked to all of us
that's
at,
good.
at the meeting, wanted to hear all of our ideas. I was so jazzed up about that right after the meeting got out, it was our lunch break, and I just sat there and ate my lunch while kind of looking up some research articles and stuff and started brainstorming ideas, like sort of how we do here, came up
Mhm.
with an idea. I proposed it to him. He loved it. We ran with it, got a provisional patent application going with my name on it, just with a bachelor's degree. Like, so, I mean, that was an example of a guy at a corporate level position who really appreciated and understood the value of the team. And
Yes.
where I'm going with this story is to show that like individuals like that can and do exist in positions of power, and those are the
Yes.
people that we need to support and vote for and
Yes.
try to
Yes.
get in power. Because when he heard that they uh, that company was much like Washington State. They were horrible with money. Just spend,
Mhm.
spend, 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 spend. So when he heard that there was going to be layoffs, he said, "Fuck that. You take my job away and
Mhm.
you save all of those layoffs." So he fell on his sword.
Hmm.
He he basically gave up his job and his cushy pay to keep the team intact. And because he
Nice.
knew what good is a research lab if you start getting rid of all of your brains. Like
Well,
those
and
are the guys making your money for you, and then that wasn't good enough. They wanted another round of layoffs after he had left. So he couldn't protect us anymore. What did he do with his new job? He got the higher ups there to approve an offer to buy us all. He wanted to buy the whole team from that laboratory to
mhm.
employ at his new place of employment,
See
and
that,
they turned him down.
but that's a statue worthy sort of thing. Like
Yeah,
that
I keep
is
in touch
a
with that guy because
that's
I
a
he's real
that's
legit.
a fucking business soldier right
Hmm.
there. Like a hero.
He's a human being. Like he's a
Yeah.
really
Well,
good
and
solid human being.
understanding that like I, I don't know.
People
That
like that can actually exist and do good in government, and I
yeah.
firmly believe that. And
Oh yeah.
those are the people that we need to find and say, "Hey, come join our mission here
Hmm.
because we need people like you. Like you and I aren't necessarily cut out for leading governments, but we
No,
can
yeah, fucking no.
we can definitely think about the processes behind that
Oh
and
yeah.
and you know offer ideas about how it should work,
Hmm.
and then let people who can do that stuff kind of take the reins from there. Like
I like meetings for me. Fuck that shit. I can't do meetings. Like emails, like meetings that should be an email, that kind of thing. I'm kind of like, you know what? You could have like a 2 hour workday and get way more done than most politicians, most government officials. Um, so why don't we?
yeah,
And like,
like
why are they getting paid so much?
when I was a project manager, my 8 hour shift was
Mm.
8 1 hour meetings.
Yeah.
Like I was like, wait a minute, like I've got stuff I'm supposed to be doing technically, and if I'm 8 hours in a meeting, when the fuck am I supposed to be doing my job?
Well, I guess that becomes your job at that point.
Right. Like
it's and,
I
and
mean,
then
like there were other project managers that would just have their laptop and they'd be in the meeting and they'd be doing their work, and it's like, well, now you're not paying attention to the meeting. So like,
or your work. Like you're
right.
dividing your attention. At that point, you're not getting enough done. Like
Hmm.
you're better off buckling down for a couple of hours and like busting your balls or your
Hmm.
ovaries to like get some shit done for a couple
Hmm.
hours and then check out.
Hmm.
Then you can have your meetings and all that stuff. Um,
Yeah.
I, it's almost like the conversation about what to do is more important than the doing the things that
Yeah.
you're talking about doing.
Yeah.
And then meanwhile, I go driving around Tacoma and the fucking roads are shit. Um, the power grid is all goofy, like all wiggly and like okay, why am I paying all this money? Who's taking care of this shit? Like I don't mind paying if somebody's taking care of it. It's the same thing. Like you go to a store and you buy a thing, like, okay, they're like, here's the price tag for this thing, and you buy the thing and you get the thing, like a t-shirt or something. Like, all right, that costs $30. The Live Laugh Launch t-shirt. Um, if I ordered that and it showed up and it wasn't the design, I'd be like, hey, what gives?
Hmm.
Like that. But somehow I don't know. I guess it's like people just keep sitting there and accepting bullshit. Like, oh, yeah, bare minimum effort from the government. Oh, yeah, we're going to charge you as much as we possibly fucking can. And here's a nickel back. Not nickel back. Yeah. Actually, I find that I actually kind of like that band now. Um, they have some good songs. Um, but like they they demand so much and they're telling you like, oh, the whole world is going to fall apart if you don't pay your fair share. But it's like, okay, well, we're paying more than our fair share, and things are getting worse.
Yeah.
Like, I remember the roads in the 90s in Tacoma were pretty okay. Now they suck. Like, I'm breaking my suspension every time I drive to work, because all the fucking potholes and all this stuff. Um, and the traffic signals don't work correctly. It, oh yeah, well they got like, AI and cameras and all this shit, and it's like, oh, you're sitting at the left turn lane, and well, oh, everybody else gets to go. Now you're just sitting there. Um, uh,
Wow.
uh, and then they're
Yeah.
like, oh, we need more money. It's not enough. It's not enough money. Like, bro, you're getting paid $600,000 a year, and you can't fucking figure out this shit. You can't make my
Yeah.
life better. You know what? You're fired.
Yeah. Yeah. It would be nice if we could actually do that.
Yeah, yeah. They're like, oh,
But
well, just vote them out. Like, well, yeah, good luck. That because they have a huge amount of money behind them.
mhm.
They're gonna be in there. Like, they're stuck in. There's no. It's like a fucking tick. Like, you can't get rid of them. Um, and that's the point where it's like, okay, well, maybe a little bit of violence is warranted.
Yeah.
A little bit, like, uh, maybe the threat, perhaps not like actually killing people, but like, oh, I don't know, 1,000 people show up with AKs. Like, all right, well, that'll get their attention.
I mean,
Like,
yeah.
you probably
I
don't have to shoot at that point.
I don't doubt that there is actually like an actual revenue shortage despite the high taxes because the high taxes are constantly hitting the people that don't really have the extra money to throw at the
Mm-hmm.
taxes, like the middle class, the low class are
Mm-hmm.
constantly getting hit more and more with like, the tax breaks tend to be for the richer ones,
Mm-hmm.
and that whole
Well,
lobbying circle, like
well,
they
no,
have the
yeah,
money to throw at the politicians who
yep,
make that happen. And all
yeah,
the while the inflation is like going out of control. The
mm-hmm.
tariffs have made that like exponentially worse,
Yeah,
figuratively speaking. Um, and and therein lies the problem. It's like, yeah, even for the government now, they're starting to see, oh, the money's not going as far as it used to go,
mm-hmm.
but that's not bothering the people who paid them all their
Mm-hmm.
fat little side bonuses to make that
Yeah.
happen.
And
Like,
while like the top percentile of income earners does pay the majority of tax, it's kind of stupid that us mere mortals, like the lower level people, have to pay any tax at all. Like,
yeah,
it should be enough. If you had, I don't know, the top 10% paying 1% of their income in tax, that should fund everything. Like, that ought to be enough. You, like, that's a shit ton of money. Like, okay, where is it all going? It and like, in my observation, it's going to bureaucracy. Like, it's the machine that taxes and processes the taxes and just absorbs all of that. And then, like, almost nothing, it's like a little comes out the other side. Like, well, that's a lot
yeah.
of money. That is a
There
shit ton of money.
there is a lot of bureaucracy in Germany, like more than the
Oh
US.
yeah, Germany is like the
But
king of that.
but even though there is more
Mm,
and the taxes are higher, like there's disadvantages and advantages
mm,
to having that bureaucracy. Like yes, it does make things a little bit more annoying, for the average person, but there is a good payout from that.
Yeah.
Now, like Germany is not immune from the same problem where like the
Yeah.
rich are not paying their fair share.
Mm.
And and in my view, the system is functioning well enough to show that like uh, with properly structured bureaucracy
Hmm.
that actually creates the foundation for how these things can work, right? Like,
Yeah.
because no individual can do everything, right?
Of
You
course.
do
Yeah.
actually need these structures. All bureaucracy is kind of like sharing a little bit of the burden of getting a task done so that the
Sure. Oh, yeah,
people
it's
the people
delegation.
tasked with doing it can actually do it most efficiently,
Yeah.
actually saving you money if you think
Hmm.
about it. Like if you
Well,
didn't have
and
that
that,
bureaucracy and they had to do it like fill out their own
uh,
paperwork on your behalf
oh
or
my
something,
God.
like
Yeah.
that would take
Well,
forever.
and that's where, like, I guess my gripe with bureaucracy and government is the efficiency issue.
Hmm.
Is like, we could have like six people doing this job. There could be six people, but you have 600. Why? Why? And
Yeah.
like, and they're fucking meetings. Like, oh, well, 8 hour shifts of meetings. Like, whoa, how about an email? Why
Yeah.
does it have to be so many people to manage? Like, it's kind of simple. It's like, all right, we draw tax revenue. We extract that from people, and we have these things we want to do. So you take that revenue and divert it to a thing you want to accomplish. It should be very simple. It doesn't have to be that complicated.
Yeah.
Um, but yet it's gotten so complicated that nothing gets done. Like, it's actually kind of miraculous to me when I drive around Tacoma and I see like people on the street. There's a crew filling in a pothole or something. I'm like, holy shit! It's actually happening.
Yeah.
Like, what? Why is that the case? It
Yeah.
shouldn't be. It should be like, okay, yeah, it's like a finder's fee kind of thing. Like, yeah, you know, everybody has to get paid, of course. That's important. But like, there should be fewer steps between the revenue extraction and the work being done. It ought to be like maybe two max, but it isn't. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Efficiency is definitely um, core to having an effective governance.
Yeah.
Like just off the top of my head, I mean, like I don't actually know how meeting structures go in governments, but in businesses, like for instance,
It's worse
I
in
know
government.
I know there are, like when you have to read SOPs or something, like they've got
Mhm.
software that'll, generate little quizzes or something just to kind of like prove that you actually read the material or whatever, right? Doesn't have to be complicated, just something to show that like, okay, the main points you actually read it, or you were at least able to read the quiz and then skim over and get the core knowledge that you need, right? Just do that for every freaking meeting. Like if you have something that everyone needs point A, B, C, and D,
Mhm.
write your quiz first, then put your information there and let people read the email, take the quiz to show that they've been engaged with the meeting, which is probably a lot more effective than actually sitting in a meeting and zoning out and not even hearing anything. Like just do that. And if they have follow-up questions, send an email or walk over to their office and have a
Yeah.
little conversation or something, like, And managers, project managers and stuff like that, they should have delegates going to each meeting and then reporting back to them once a day. Like, here are all the things you need to know, you need to make decisions on, you need to tell this person that, email this person that, call that person, tell them this, that. Just super efficient. Like,
Yeah.
just do things efficiently. It's not that hard.
Well, and the problem I think is that you when it comes to government, the government workers get their paycheck regardless of how efficient or how effective they are,
Right.
which to me is a problem. I think you should get paid as like a 1099 contractor. Like, hey, you finish a thing, okay, hey, we'll pay you out for that. You don't get paid unless you do a thing.
Yeah.
It should be really simple.
Well, the whole voting thing is kind of the problem there too, because they know for however many years their term is, they're pretty cushy. All they have
Mhm.
to do is kind of kick it up a notch right around election time. Be look at what
Yep.
I did, and
Yep.
people forget. Like
Oh
the
yeah.
memories are
Well,
short,
and
and
it's pillow talk too. All the
mhm,
politicians, they do it. Like they'll tell you all the lovey-dovey things that things you want to hear. Like, oh, if vote for me and I'm going to do this and do that. And then the second they're in office, they flip their hat around and they're like, yeah, fuck that. And they don't do any of it. Like they don't care about the people who voted for them, the people who depend on them. Like that's a bit frustrating.
yeah,
Like, and then they're like, oh well, see, they're good. Also, they're really good, and the media is complicit too in twisting the script too, because they're like, well, if there's a failure, it's the other team, it's their fault.
hmm
Like, oh, it was the guys that came before. It was the red team or the blue team or whatever. They fuck things up, and oh, I don't know. That's why we're flaccid, and we can't play the game now. Like,
yeah.
no,
The blame and the credit is always shifting
yes,
continuity. Like,
yep,
it's like,
mm-hmm.
oh well, like the economy is actually kind of a slow reflection of the poor decisions of my predecessor,
Yep,
and then and it's like, oh, look at all the jobs I just created last week by doing this thing. It's like, wait a
yeah.
minute,
Hang
which one is
on.
it here? Is it a slow roll that
Hmm.
was actually someone else's fault, or is it real time here?
Well, and that tactic is what gets people to keep playing the game,
Hmm.
to keep participating, to be like, oh well, we I need my people on the team or whatever, because we'll win this time, right? We're gonna win. Just need the right players.
Hmm.
When it's like, well, bro, you're always losing. I,
Well, yeah. Um,
well,
it.
and I guess maybe one of the things that bugs me about it is that it isn't a matter of just structure of like how like operational structure. It comes down to like human beings getting angry at other human beings over their decisions about which players are on the team, and like hurting each other, killing each
Mm,
other, like
mhm.
not talking to family members, stop talking to each other over like what player is playing the game. Like that shouldn't be. How? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, it, that's maybe oversimplifying it. I can understand in certain situations, like, um, it depends on the issue that's really at the core of the matter. Because
Yeah.
some of the issues on the table when it comes to politics are actually about like human autonomy and,
Well, sure.
you know,
However, we have to understand that the politicians don't give a shit about that. They don't give a shit about what you think.
right.
Like they're going to pander to people, pillow talk, tell you what you want to hear, and then just do whatever they want to do, and
Yeah.
like scoop up, hoover up all the money they possibly can.
Yeah.
You
I
be
mean,
damned.
people really need to understand there is no left and there is no right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's
this is
not,
true.
there's none of that. Even if you want to get all pedantic and pluck all these definitions out of whatever spectrum you're looking at, right? If you take America, for example,
Mm-hmm.
there literally is no left. Like the people on the left are actually at best in the center of the
Yep,
political
the majority
spectrum.
of them, yeah, yeah, out in the
Like
center.
there really is not a liberal agenda in America.
Yeah.
At least not like in any position of like taking power or anything like that.
Well, okay.
And when it comes to the right, there's actually no right either,
Mm-hmm.
because the right is supposed to be about freedom, but where are most of the freedoms getting sucked away during Patriot Act? Who was that? Bush.
Shit. Oh,
Like,
PW.
yeah, like Trump, I mean, like, come on.
Hmm.
Most of the freedoms get sucked away during the Republican terms. And so it's like, they're not really right either.
Well,
Like, whatever
and
they are is fucking evil. It doesn't
well,
need a left or a right. It's
yeah,
just fucking
exactly.
evil.
Yeah, well, and like taxes keep going up, regardless of who's there, who's in
Yeah.
charge, who's
Yeah.
at the helm.
Both
Taxes
sides
get
raise
yep,
taxes all the time. Like,
yep, all the time
all the
for
time.
different reasons.
Yeah.
Like, and yeah, it's like the people, the boots on the ground people, they have their views about what they want, their desires, their intents, and things like that, like their vision. Um, and then they cast that onto the politicians who care nothing about that. Um, so it's like it doesn't matter how you vote. You, whatever you believe, it's never going to come to fruition
Yeah.
because the politicians don't give a shit. They're a bunch of corrupt motherfuckers.
If you
And
think about it, the voting is really done by the media.
it
You know,
is,
like
yeah.
everyone shapes their vote based off of the information they're getting
Mm-hmm.
from the media that is paid for by the
Oh,
rich people that
it's
are
a
pulling all the
it's a
strings.
business. It's a
Yeah.
like yeah, the media, big like large media, it's a business. Like they gotta pay the bills. So
Like,
you
and
know how they do it. They hype things up, they lie,
yeah.
uh, and well, okay, so should you trust that?
And even if you do your homework and read all the little pamphlets before you vote and everything, then at best you're basically betting on their word.
Yeah.
Is this pillow talk or is this actually legit? I mean, you've really got to exercise some strong critical thinking. uh, Be asking yourself like, okay, I like these promises, but are they actually feasible? Like,
Mhm.
can this person alone guarantee these, or is it going to be contingent on them convincing a bunch of other people
Oh,
in a political environment
which
that is battling them?
we have
Like,
talked about the shadow government
yeah,
in the past that like yeah basically it doesn't matter if say like a president comes into power. They can't do the things that they promise well, unless they're allowed to do those things, and 9 times out of 10 they're not allowed to do those things. Like if you get anything it's sort of like a well, we'll give you a little bit of that. um like so it appears that way, like it's a psyop. The entire thing is a psyop.
yeah.
um and people keep playing the game. Like meanwhile there's all kinds of fucking things that need to be solved that nobody's doing anything about and nobody can. um the only way is for in my opinion, us to band together and
Yeah.
just do it ourselves. Like,
Guerrilla government.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, because the government, it's a farce at this point. It's a joke. All governments, and yeah, you're right. Like the whole left right paradigm bullshit. Like we gotta stop talking about that. Like
Yeah. I'm trying hard to move away from that because it's just theater. It's
it is. Well, and like okay, at the end of the day, we have people who have ideas about things and maybe they agree on some stuff, maybe they disagree on other things. Like that's normal. Like that is a human thing.
yeah.
Not everybody's going to agree on everything. And that's fine. You know how you fix that? Conversation
Hmm.
or acceptance. You're just like, well, all right, well, I guess I'll try to convince you of this thing. And if not, then well, all right, well, whatever. Doesn't At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. If you're not
Well,
hurting me, I don't care.
you
Uh,
remember how we started this show with the premise that we would really try to focus mostly on the things that people are scared to talk about, the
yeah,
things that people avoid talking about because they disagree on them. And
yeah,
you and I do tend to have somewhat opposing views about things, but in general we agree on
yeah,
almost
yeah.
everything,
Hmm.
which is hard for people to wrap their heads around, I think, at
Oh, it
first.
like breaks people's
Yeah.
minds, I think. Yeah. It's
But
like,
but
how
it
the
it
fuck?
really nails home the point that we're trying to make is that we we as humans
Hmm.
do actually tend to agree on a lot of things. We
Yeah,
do actually want a lot of the same things. We do want good for others. We
yeah.
do want good for ourselves.
Hmm.
And a lot of that stuff does align,
Yeah,
but we're so blinded by the political theater and their propaganda that there's, you know, infighting that is supposed to be happening, and we need to take up arms against our brothers to make them see the right way or the
see
left
the
way,
right.
or,
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Like,
uh,
if you have a conversation, have a sit down with somebody that you disagree with, like you find you agree on like the reasons. Maybe the disagreement comes down to like the the methodology that like, oh, well, we all agree that this thing is a problem.
yeah,
Okay, but we disagree on how to solve it. Like, okay, well, that's an engineering problem. Like, you
yeah,
don't have
yeah,
to get angry at people. Like, because one of the things that we do is we take our ideas about things, our perspectives, and we blend them together.
yeah.
And so it's like you have your way, I have my way, and somehow we find a solution that
The,
could work. I don't
the
know.
great thing when we have a guest on, or somebody who's commenting in the live chat or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
is we're able to triangulate then.
Yes.
It's not just two viewpoints, but we're getting a third
Mm-hmm.
perspective that might say, like, that idea makes a little bit more sense, here's why. That idea might make a little more sense, here's why. Or both of those aren't making any sense, and here's why.
Mm-hmm.
And that is able to kind of break the formation of an echo chamber
Mm-hmm.
enough that, like, people really need to be willing to let go of ideas that they think will work, because maybe they won't. But it's not like you have to just erase the whole idea from your head. You just have to, like, go back to the drawing board
Mm-hmm.
and find the pieces that aren't necessarily working right, you know?
Yeah, and I
Um,
think it's important to kind of accept that maybe you don't have
hmm.
all the answers.
Like, I think that's where the triangulation comes in, is
Mhm.
is it can kind of show you if you're at least headed in the right direction, which is also really important because then you know, okay, I don't have to start over. I just have to tweak, you know?
Sure. Well, and
And
that's the beautiful thing that ought to be the way that we operate. Like, why all the fighting? Why the like the conflict between when it comes to politics? Like, this is the thing that blows my mind. Politicians never ever give you anything they've promised you, ever. Like, maybe, little nickels here and there, but they're heated up nickels. um like, they give you just tiny little things. They never give you what they promise you, yet people, we we've been conditioned, I guess, to like get up in a frenzy over that. Like, bro, the problem isn't the fact that we disagree on shit. It's the fact that we even participate in this system, that we're deferring to idiots who do nothing. They do nothing. They never ever do anything to help people and improve things. Yet we're willing to fight each other. It's like sports, like a sports team. Like, you know, one team or another, I like that team or that team. And it's like, they're not even the same people year in and year out, by the way. So is it even the same team? It's like Ship of Theseus kind of shit. Um,
yeah,
and yet people fight. Like, why are we fighting? Like, we have common goals. We want to make the
mm,
world a better place. Like, sure, there's definitely going to be disagreements in there, that, like, oh, maybe religious things or whatever might come into play, but like, well, we can figure out how to make that work. We're able to do that. We're adults. Like, why can't that? I don't know, but it keeps
yeah,
going, and people
like
keep playing, and they're like, oh my god, it's the most important election ever. Fuck, it is. It's not important at all. Like, and then we're
thought
paying these people so much money.
the thought occurred to me that like if anyone has a right to gripe about tax, it would be me because I don't even live in the country and I have to pay tax to it.
Fuck.
And
That's
mind you,
right.
none of that is going to Social Security, so it won't come back in
Nope.
my pocket.
Nope.
Not that that'll ever come back in my pocket anyway.
No, it actually, in a way, it kind of makes you property of the state, doesn't it?
Oh
Like,
yeah,
oh, doesn't matter where you live, you're a slave.
that's
If you
essentially
think
what they're
about it.
saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
um,
Like,
and
you're owned by the state. So no matter where you go, no matter what you do, we're going to take a cut of
and
your life, your labor.
and in that regard, like with Social Security, not likely to be solvent at some point in the not so distant future.
It's, yeah.
Um, I I feel like whatever um, let's say retribution the standing government
Mm-hmm.
should have to pay upon its dissolution is a kind of a liquidation event that
Mm-hmm.
does whatever it takes at the expense of the government
Mm-hmm.
to uh, freeze and pay out at that moment to everyone what they're owed for
Yeah.
Social Security, and then that government can be done with, and we move on with a new system. Like because that is important. Like there are
Mm-hmm.
legacy things that should be owed to people because they paid into
Sure.
it with the
Oh,
expectation that
absolutely.
that's
Yeah.
coming, and if the government does cease to exist, that should be taken care of. Like that should be
Oh, yeah.
provided for, and at you know it's not, it shouldn't even be at the cost of the government because technically it should just be the money that was earmarked for that purpose, but
Yes,
they've fucking squandered it.
they've
So
squandered it. Yep, yep, you're right. Yeah, oh yeah, there's a lot of hands in that cookie jar. Um, like there's no cookies left, by the way. Uh,
yeah,
it and it really sucks because like it was a laudable goal to provide for the future. Of course, it was a Ponzi scheme from the beginning, and everybody knew it. But like it's the government, and you can't do anything about it. Like it should have been an investment
yeah. I mean, the
system.
stock market's a Ponzi scheme too.
Well, yeah, yeah, true. But at least if it was like invested safely and correctly and with the goal of increasing, so like you should get out more than what you put in if it's a properly run system. But
Hmm.
of course, we're going to see pennies on the dollar. uh, so where'd all that money go? I don't know.
Yeah,
Probably to the F-35 or something like that. Some military thing.
yeah.
I, uh, I want to, like, I don't mind paying into things for humanitarian reasons if it actually does something. Like results. I want to see results. I
Yeah.
like if you have a really good system that works, I'll give you money all day long. But if if you have a system like we currently have that doesn't do jack shit, yeah, no, I'm pissed off about it. Like I begrudgingly pay my taxes.
Can you can you operate a QR code if it is I want to say branded, but that's not exactly correct. It's more like, when you like press a piece of paper and it stamps in like it like makes it kind of like raised or whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
you know what I mean? I don't know what
Mm-hmm.
the word is for that, but I wonder if a
Embossed.
Q
It's embossed.
embossed, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you emboss a QR code and actually have it function? Probably not.
Mm-hmm. I
Really?
think you might be able to. Yeah.
It wouldn't require like the contrast of black and white or
Well,
something.
shadows,
Huh.
if you angle it correctly. Yeah. So you
Because
can
I
have. Yeah.
well, I wonder if you could just start a trend of people like embossing money with QR codes so that they become trackable by the public.
Hmm.
So you can see what they're doing. Like,
Well,
I mean, you would need a
the
system of scanning it
yeah. Well,
but
and the problem is the money that we have, the dollars, the paper bills, are like kind of the end of the funnel. Um, there's a lot of shenanigans that's going on that has no like way before any of that money gets out there.
mm,
Um, I, it's like, how do you have trillions of dollars? Trillions. Like, that is an astounding amount of money.
mm.
Unimaginable. Like, most people don't even, like, it's hard to imagine how do they have that much money and they're not able to do like the basic bitch stuff. Like, oh, you can't help people, you can't keep the roads working, you know. But somehow you're able to dump all that into like fighter jets and rockets and stuff. Um, and and then
Well, it's much
half of it
like
just disappears too.
it's much like these multi-billionaires and now we even have a trillionaire, like as people so often like to point out, well, it's not just real cash or something. It's like that's kind of the same with the government too. Like a lot of this is done on credit.
Well, yeah, it's all like
It's a credit currency. Like it's
it's
borrowed
spreadsheets
in,
and stuff.
yeah, like so the actual like yeah, I mean that is the unfortunate part about moving away from the gold standard is the accounting got really messy.
Yes. Yes, this is true.
And it's like how can we hold them to account when no one's accounting?
Well,
Like,
yeah, and you know the last time the Fort Knox was audited, uh, our gold reserves, like
mm,
I think it was like the 50s or something. It was a long time ago.
mm,
I don't think there's actually any gold there. I think there's a room with a little bit of gold. I think all the gold has been ferreted away to other people, and they've long since snorted that shit up their nose. It's all gone.
mm.
It like I'd like to go back to that standard though. I think that makes sense. That like we need something that people can't fucking make up. Like we whatever it is, you got to have something that people can't just a bunch of idiots up there can't just sort of manufacture out of thin air um, to do whatever the hell they're doing. Um, like we need whatever system we have, whatever it is. I don't know, but we need a system that allows the people to have the power, to have the control.
Yeah.
Uh, and if we have a government, the government should be beholden to the people. We're like, hey, yeah, it's like military service, like, well, it's gonna suck for a minute. And yeah, we'll pay you, but not that much. And then you're in and out, and then maybe there's a statue if you're good enough, right? If you do something really really cool, if you're like Teddy Roosevelt, well, there's going to be a fucking statue for you. If you're like Kennedy, there's going to be a fucking statue for you. Um,
There you
like,
go. Why don't we just like once we vote a politician in, they have to go through 4 years of boot camp, and and the and the people are in charge of the boot camp.
yeah, live stream that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Reality TV. Like,
you're gonna eat dirt, motherfucker. Like, oh man, that'd be awesome.
how long is that bill gonna be? 150 pages. What? I'm sorry, 70 pages. What?
Sir, yes, sir. I'm gonna condense it down to 7 pages.
That better be including one cover page.
What cover
And the
page?
last four are references. Sir,
But
yes, sir.
and you know what? Something like that could work because live streaming that could get ad revenue.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's not a bad idea,
yeah.
honestly. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're supposed to work for the people, so
No,
they
they're
should be trained by the people
public
and
servant,
learn
right?
what the people want to
Yeah.
in order to be pleased. You know,
Well,
that's boot camp, right?
they do the
Please the master
gauntlet.
sergeant and or the
Yeah.
drill
They,
sergeant. And
they do the gauntlet. They have a bunch of citizens up there as somebody's like slogging through the mud, like and stuff. And then like everybody is like telling them this is what you're gonna do. And then they come out and then they have to do that. And if they don't, back into the fucking tank.
oh man.
You go back to the hole. I
Oh God.
would love.
Government boot camp. We we need some TV executives
Mhm.
to give us a fat bonus for thinking that up. Like,
I mean, it would it yeah, I'd love to see that. And like okay, you got to go through boot camp and like, you go through the gauntlet, everybody telling you what you got to do. And then you get in and you're supposed to do the things. And if you fail, then you go back through the gauntlet again.
Hmm.
Like,
All the drill sergeants are podcasters. Like,
yeah. Oh my God. Well, we gotta create like a robotic Arlie Ermy. Um, so we can like replicate those. Um like, oh man. I,
I will gouge out your eyeballs and skull fuck you.
I fucking love that guy. Oh my God. Rest in peace, soldier. Um it We need more of that though. I think that like we should expect that. They're public servants. They're supposed to be making things better. Why
Mm.
are they not making things better? Why are things getting worse and they're charging us more money? Like, how come? Where's the beef? Right? Like, where's the beef? That Hey, that's a good saying, actually. Like, how come the burger's getting smaller and the price keeps going up?
Yeah.
Like, give me a fucking burger. You said it was $1 for a double stack, and now it's a single stack, and now it's $2, and there's no cheese, and there's fucking onions on that bitch. But like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And people are like, well, this is the way it is. And we're fighting each other about this stuff. This is the thing that makes me the most annoyed is like we're fighting each other about this system that exists beyond, in the great beyond, the ivory tower and stuff. And yet the common people are like bickering and arguing and punching each other and fighting in the streets over the overlords. Like,
You know what? All joking aside, that
mm-hmm,
actually might be the ticket to a transition.
mm-hmm,
Because if you think about like the logistics of it, right? Like say however you select your chosen leaders voting, let's say,
mm-hmm.
if you want to, and actually I really do think you should put them through a boot camp of sorts.
Yeah.
Um, that will take time before they're actually doing the work.
Mm-hmm.
So, for the initial like kickoff of, the actual transition point into a new form of governance, like it would make sense that just take the first 4 years to really drill it into them.
Yeah.
This manual for making the world a better place, this new constitution, they should know it. They should know it by heart. It should be actually drilled into them. Like, okay, the point isn't to create inflation. The point is to promote deflation, actually. Like we should actually try to like improve the economy for the bottom end of it, for the
Mm-hmm.
floor of the economy, not the ceiling.
Yeah.
Like, all of these things that they've been taught over the years by the fucking shadow government and the elites or whatever, like
Mm-hmm.
corporatocracy, whatever you want to call the puppet master. Like all that needs to be unprogrammed, like deprogrammed, like
Yeah.
take it away, replace it with
Well, it
proper.
no, you're kind of, you've got a point, because
Yeah,
it's like when you go to boot camp, like especially in the Marines, it's like deconstructing who you are,
yeah,
turning you into a Marine.
yeah.
Uh, like, oh yeah, you used to be a regular person, now you're a fucking Marine. That's how it is. Um, and yeah, do that with politicians. Like, hey, if you want to take on this job, it's fucking hard and you're not going to get paid that much, but you might get a statue if you come out the other side unscathed. um and like, to me, I think like we have, like, we've talked about this before, like we live in a post-scarcity world. um there's no excuse for there to be people who are wanting for anything.
Right.
We throw away more shit than it's like people throw shit away, like perfectly usable things all the time, because it's like, oh, I'm filling up my space. Like, okay, yep. All right, we're in a post-scarcity world now. We have so much food. Like, there's no reason for people to be hungry. There's no reason for people to be wanting of shelter. Um, like we have 3D printed houses and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, it should be the task of the politicians, if we do vote people in, to make things better. Like that should be the sole purpose
Yeah.
of a political run of like, you know what? Okay, well, there's some problems. I'm going to fix those problems. And if you don't, well, maybe you get tarred and feathered. If you do, then you get a statue. Um,
Yeah. I
like,
mean,
but why like same thing, cyclical, like over and over and over again, like, oh, we go back and forth, and everybody's like, oh, but like it keeps getting worse. How
yeah.
come like it doesn't get better? Like,
The, it's by design.
yes.
I'm pretty sure it's by
I
design.
know. I know.
And that needs to be kind of the goal of what we aim to fix. And I really think I like that idea. Like a government boot camp.
Yeah.
And that's how we kick things off.
Mhm.
Like we enough people say this is how we want things to be. We vote for the new founding fathers
Yeah.
and put them through the ringer for 4 years, and
Mhm.
then at the transition phase, we vote for who's going to take over when they've run their course,
would
and start
I
the boot camp for them.
it would
Well, like
so old school, there'd be a celebratory thing like, oh my god, I won. And then in our version it'd be like, ah, fuck, I won. Like, oh god, they're gonna drag my balls through the mud. Live streamed.
Mhm. Yeah, and I don't see any reason why that couldn't be reality TV, a form of entertainment.
Sure.
I
Oh yeah.
I don't know though, like I don't know, but I feel like that would be better served as being something on PBS, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
Something that's free of media influence.
Yep. No
Um,
ads, no nothing. Actually,
yeah,
yeah, that's one of the things, like I've donated to PBS. Like I believe in that. Um,
yeah,
like
and actually, like there you go. Like instead of tax, people just fund PBS to watch the entertaining
yeah.
boot camp. Like,
Like, oh, you gonna fucking like shovel another bucket of mud in your mouth, soldier. You're gonna be governor, man. Serious. I like, and I would like to see that. I think public service should be about solving problems and doing the difficult things, not like bringing in a bunch of money and making yourself wealthy. Like there's space for that, of course. Like, sure, there are people who make a bunch of money, and we need to accommodate them to be able to do things like build libraries and do fucking cool shit, like waste their money on spaceships. Um, that's awesome. Like I'm fine with that. But like advertising can definitely fund a lot of stuff. Um, oh man, I just like, well, it's kind of like one of my favorite movies. um robot jocks. um the idea behind that movie, of course, is like back in the day, it's a Cold War era movie. I fucking love it, even though it's trash. But in the movie, the USA and the USSR had a nuclear exchange and they fucked each other up. And they're like, you know what? We probably shouldn't do that again. Um, so if we ever have a disagreement in the future, we're gonna have this like mech battle. So we're gonna like it's basically like Formula One kind of stuff, but there's these mechas that like duke it out. And you know, they have it's televised and it's really cool. And like, okay, well, whatever the outcome is, whoever is successful will agree that like whoever's side wins, that's the side we're gonna go with. And I think that's fucking badass. Like, you don't need war. Why all this war? Like, why not sports? I, just just saying.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like the whole thing is like, I mean, I do agree with a lot of people who say, like if most of the world leaders were women, we probably would not have at least so much war. Like it's a very testosterone driven thing, like a lot of chest
Okay.
beating, like,
Yeah, I mean, there's something to that. Yeah.
yeah, like it really is like just competition stuff or showing off or whatever, and and I think a lot of it is fluff, just fluff. You know,
Well, because
everybody says how like USA is this undefeatable force and everything, and no one should even ever try to to do harm to the US because their military is just unstoppable. And it's like, well, how much of that is true and how much is just fluff? Because I mean, we did get spanked in Vietnam. We did get spanked in Korea.
well, and Afghanistan
And
too.
yeah, like
Like
we don't actually
fairly
have the
recently,
best.
like now, I will say the U.S. military is the best in the world. But why are we doing these things? Why were we even in Vietnam? Korea, yes, understand that. Totally on that side. Um, but like Iraq and Afghanistan, like that was kind of fucking stupid.
Uh-huh.
Um, a waste of like think of what we could accomplish if we didn't get involved in those things. This is the thing. Like I'd like to see like a military level sort of like space marine kind of thing of like we're gonna fucking fix all the fucking problems on planet Earth right now. We're gonna like everything. We're just gonna spank it down like hunger, like no shelter, mental health. Boom, done. We've solved it. That'd be awesome. Um, like worthy of spending money on.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean,
like
that's
that's
really what we need. Like
yeah,
is actually
like a
just
military engagement against these shitty things of like these problems we should have to solve. And a lot of them also are the government. So the
mm,
government
mhm.
might have to go. Sorry, sorry about your ass. Um, but you're fired.
I mean, yeah, that's why I feel like any future system should definitely keep the military 100% separate from the government.
Yep.
Um, It really should be autonomous and not to imply that that should give them any right to uh, take over whatever they want, or like you know there definitely has to be like cooperation with
Mhm.
governments and stuff, but
Oh yeah.
this whole commander in chief thing, the
Yeah,
president
that's
can call all the shots or whatever to a
yeah, that
certain degree, like
mhm.
is bad enough, let's say, that
Well,
creates enough conflicts of interest. And
you know how you solve that? You go back to the militia, where it's regular people who have their own arms and have their own training and they're ready to fight if need be. But like you have to convince them to fight.
mm,
That like
it's
that's a
it's
better
kind
way
of
to do it.
evolved to a point where I don't know that that would actually work. Like we've already opened Pandora's box with jets and machine
Yeah.
guns and nuclear weapons and stuff like that. Like there definitely has to be more structure than a militia, but
Yeah. But you I think
less than what we have now.
we yeah, we'd be better off with a militia. And maybe like National Guard or something like that that does all that other stuff. Um, but a small force that like the president can't be like, oh, hey, I'm going to call on you to do this thing. Um, like it's almost like you have to, in my opinion, if you want to conduct warfare, you have to sell it to me. Like
I
there has
think
to be a good fucking reason for me to pick up my rifle and kill another motherfucker in another place.
I think Anonymous should just like steal all the nuclear codes and take control of all the nuclear weapons in the world, and
Mm-hmm.
then just say anyone who even mentions war instantly gets bombed.
Yeah. Like all the
You even
nukes go
think
off
about
all
going
at
to war
once.
with somebody, you
Yeah.
get wiped off. Like,
Hmm. Well, and okay, I'd like to leave a little bit of wiggle room. It's like, okay, there are situations where it might make sense. But
yeah,
you got to sell it. Like,
I
convince
think
me
humanity
that,
is ready to take its fucking diapers off, honestly. Like, we
yeah.
don't need these machines of war. We don't. We don't need nuclear bombs. We don't need jets. We don't need fancy fucking guns. All that shit could just be buried in a hole somewhere
Hmm.
and protected by a benevolent dragon for all I care. Who just scorches the face off of anyone who comes and tries to take it
Hmm.
to rule the world with whatever shitty ideas they have. And just let people live in the post-scarcity world, not bothering each other. Like,
Hmm.
let's just fucking do that. We don't, there's no need for war. There never has been.
No, and like, okay, I will disagree on the gun side of things. That like on an individual level, like individual defense is a valid thing, but war is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It is dumb for a country to decide that all of their military is going to go and kill, like shoot at all of the military of another country. How are you even a country? Hmm. uh, like,
Yeah.
and to what end? What do you hope to gain? What's the outcome?
Yeah.
Look at the Russo-Ukraine war going on right now. Is Russia better off because of that? Is Ukraine better off because of that? No, they've destroyed a bunch of shit. They've
Hmm.
made everybody's lives worse. There's no positive in that. So
Same with
see,
the US. Like,
this is where militaries are valuable. And militias is like, hey, you know what? Maybe the US being a heavily armed country, we should go in there and kick the shit out of both the Ukrainians and the Russians and be like, stop fucking fighting. Break it up, man. Like,
Mm,
what the fuck?
yeah.
Like, there shouldn't be that. Oh.
Fucking testosterone. I do think that has a lot to do with it, and and that's coming from experience actually, because um as some people might know, I had cancer a couple of times, and as a result of
Mhm.
the treatments, I've had to take testosterone supplementation for well over 10 years now.
Mhm.
And that made a significant change in my demeanor.
Mhm.
Um, like things like guns and stuff like that used to make fundamental sense to me when I had the ability to produce my own testosterone, and
Mhm.
then suddenly it kind of didn't anymore. Like a more peaceful version of me emerged as I got less testosterone.
Well, I see. I'm wearing the wrong shirt. I have my heavily armed hippie T-shirt design that I made. Like, I understand that. Like, to me, a gun is a tool. It's like a hammer. It's like, well, you need to do a thing. That's the thing that you need to do that thing.
Yeah, but you don't need a
Um,
hammer that like automatically hammers like 6,000 times per second or something, Like it's
okay,
about how flashy it's getting. That's all I'm
well,
talking
yeah,
about.
no, yeah,
Of course, you
exactly.
can
Like,
have a fucking revolver or a shotgun or a rifle or something for
no,
hunting or whatever. Like
it
that makes sense to
for
me,
me,
sure, but
it's the AK and the 1911. If I have those two things, I know I'm good. No matter what comes at me, even if it's aliens too. I'm like, like I'm probably good. Um, the AK, the 1911, and those are over 100 years old. Well, not the AK, but the 1911 is over 100 years old. Um,
what year did that come out?
1911.
Oh,
But like, it's a tool. It's a tool for performing a function, and that is defense or protection, in my opinion.
yeah.
Uh, like, this is what militaries should be doing: is defense,
So is a broken beer
protection.
bottle,
Well, yeah, true. Yeah,
when it comes to self,
but
like I I
but
I maintain that self-defense is something that cannot ever be taken away from a person. Like it's
no, you're right. Yeah, the whole
you
ninja thing.
don't need a
Like,
tool, a specific tool at that
well,
at
no,
all.
but it's like, if you have a flat tire and you don't have a lug wrench, and you're trying to take the lug nuts off on your car, or you don't have a jack, like, how are you going to make a jack out of nothing? Like, are you going to just lift it? Okay, back in the day when I had the Geo Metro, I did actually do that once, but that was a very small light car. Um, but if you have like my F-150, yeah, there's no fucking way I'm going to lift that without a jack. So having a tool makes sense. It's like a fire extinguisher to put out a fire. Like, you, uh, I don't know, a squirt gun is not going to put out a fire as good as a fire extinguisher. So, tools,
Mm,
um,
mm.
but it has to be tempered with
It just sounds like that argument sounds like, like no one was able to kill anyone before the invention of the gun, like
no, 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 no. But
it has a certain
the
illogic to it that
reason, no, the reason for having a gun is because other people have guns.
right.
So,
But if
like,
all of
you
them
want to
were just
balance that.
buried in a hole and,
Well,
like,
good luck with that. I don't think that's going to happen. But Sure, I'd love for that to happen. Same thing with nukes. I'd love for all the nukes to be just like tossed in a hole and we never have to worry about it again. Although people know how to make them. So that's one of the things too. Like you could round up all the guns, throw them in a hole, but well, there's Mr. Luty's book, uh, and also the fact people know how to make guns. So they're just going to make guns again. So then you're back to square one.
But that's where we come back full circle to the need for governance, the need for bureaucracy, the need for being able to uh, find problems and establish measures for removing them before they become full-blown cancer, you know?
Well, and yeah, like if you look at the data, it's pretty evident that a lot of violent crime is connected with socioeconomic problems.
Hmm.
That like if you're in a diminished status, that's where all this crime comes from. Because you could look at like well-to-do places like Switzerland who have higher gun ownership than America and like barely any crime. Like fucking everybody has guns there. Like, why is there no crime? Oh, because guns don't equal crime. Like, it's
But the
socioeconomic.
lack of guns also doesn't equal the increase in crime because it's sort of the opposite situation here in Germany. There's a pretty strong socioeconomic balance
Mm-hmm.
and hardly any guns.
Yeah.
You know,
Then you
basically
have the
like there.
UK, like where it's more knives than guns. Um, I like. I guess it comes down to like the focus, regardless of like how you feel about things. Like I believe in people's right to self defense, um, but I also believe that we should be diverting our resources to making lives better.
Yeah,
Like at the end of the day, I don't care where, like, how much money is being extracted and stuff like that. I want to see the world a better place. I don't want people to be angry, to be shooting each other and whatever. A brother killing a brother. Like, that should never happen.
yeah,
We shouldn't, we have the power to not live in that world right now.
yeah.
Why are we not? And therein lies that's the enemy. Like the enemy is the thing blockading that solution from happening,
Hmm.
like
I
making the
feel
world
like
a better place.
I feel like if we ever on this show come to some agreement on how best to handle the issues surrounding the right to self-defense,
Mm-hmm.
regarding methodology, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
because we do agree on the right itself, of course.
Sure. Yeah.
Um, you know, like that would be a prime example of the system that we're building actually working, you know, like
Yeah.
to be
Well,
able to come up with some kind of solution for that that it's
and
agreeable to.
that's the point where YouTube is suddenly going to notice us. They're like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Because I think there is a proper correct answer
Mm-hmm.
sort of solution to that because there are enough different ways that that is handled across the world
Yeah.
to look very carefully at all the different socioeconomic uh, variables involved
Mm-hmm.
and compare them in a very matrix style
Yeah.
not the movie Matrix,
Not
but
the
like
movie,
the
yeah, but
mathematical Matrix sort
yep.
of thing, and really kind of do that triangulation thing I was talking about,
Mhm.
and drive toward a solution that finds the balance, like because if you've got data showing that crime is not a problem, and it seems to be linked to however it is that they're handling gun situations, right? Like it's worth looking at, if
Sure.
Switzerland has a bunch of guns and doesn't have much violence, what else is different then
But yeah, what
that
are
is,
we got
you
to
know,
analyze the factors that contribute
and
to that.
it's definitely complicated. It's definitely multi-tiered stuff,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
there's also education, there's also uh,
Hmm.
culture, there's all kinds of stuff that goes into that. Um, there's what are the systems of punishment like?
Hmm.
Is the punishment cushy? Like yeah.
Hmm.
Um, like here
Well,
in
there it
Germany,
probably
it's
is.
actually pretty cushy to be in prison in Germany compared to other
Hmm.
countries, like Turkey, for instance, or
Yeah.
even America. But I don't know how it is in Switzerland. Maybe it's more draconian, or
It
who
could
knows?
be. Yeah.
Like that's the key though, is like anytime you see something that seems to be in favor of your particular stance, maybe look harder at it. Like, okay, that might actually be proving it, but is it proving it for the reasons that you think it is,
Well,
or is it something else?
it's
Like,
as and I know you have dismissed this concept in the past, the cross cultural comparison, but culture does contribute largely to a lot of things. That like Switzerland is very different than the U.S. Very different, even though like well, yeah, I mean, like, on paper they look similar, but no, it's very different.
hmm,
Same thing with Germany, France, whatever, Mexico. Like U.S. is actually closer to Mexico than it is to France, which is interesting. Um, but it,
no, my
it is
my
a
dismissal isn't that culture doesn't influence the those factors. It's that the the system of governance isn't necessarily going to uh, how do I put this? Like
it's
like
okay.
the cultural difference isn't like going to make any difference when it comes to how the laws are applied to the cultural difference.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I
and
mean?
like what
Like
I'm
if you pluck someone out of this culture and put them in America with America's laws and rules and everything,
yeah.
whatever their culture might be, like they have to follow those laws and rules. Like
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
however much they don't like it or whatever because of their culture,
When in
that's how it
Rome.
is. So yeah,
Mhm.
like that just kind of supersedes culture because otherwise it would just be
But
chaos.
like there's a difference, like there's a cultural difference between different places. Like if you compare, say, the US to Japan, in the US, you hide all your shit. You never leave anything valuable sitting out in the open because somebody it'll get snagged.
Hmm.
Whereas in Japan, it's like, well, yeah, like a girl could drop her purse at a train station and then come back the next day and it's still there
Yeah.
because in that culture, it's like you would never steal that purse. Um,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I don't know what I was getting at, but I'd like to see a world closer to that.
Yeah.
where like we self-police, we be our own cop, that like, yeah, okay, we do need some kind of something out there to kind of solve the bigger problems. But for the most part, we just kind of fix it ourselves. And we also just don't do those things. Like
Yeah.
that, if that makes sense, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, that would be nice.
yeah.
uh, hmm. It's possible. I think a lot of culture is shaped by the rules under which it lives too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so you kind of, as a society, as a culture, you have to kind of collectively decide like, okay, if this is something we want to do, we actually might have to make ourselves a little bit uncomfortable and go through this period of like cultural shift,
Yeah.
growth, if you will, to sort of enlighten ourselves to a new culture.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't mean you have to like erase any of
No.
your
Well, no,
your
it
your
and
past or anything. It's just it's tweaking, it's
well,
just tweaking.
and I think it's important to recognize the past because the past is how we got to the present.
Hmm.
Like we were here and now we're there.
Yeah,
Like, how did we get there? Oh, let me tell you a story.
right.
Like
Yeah,
I
Germany does really well at that, actually, like owning up to, uh checkered past.
checkered
and
past, yeah.
and but it definitely isn't perfect. It also has room for improvement, and 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 that's also important to keep in mind, is like
Yeah.
no system will ever be perfect and should never be set up in a way that it ever gets to a point where it feels like it can
I-
just rest on its laurels, and
yeah, yeah.
you
An
know it
exalted system of
has to
perfection that like,
has to
oh,
be constantly changing and
yeah.
improving.
Well, and I mean, it's the whole engineering thing.
Yeah,
Like looking at stuff like, well, here's the goal that we want. How close are we to that goal? We should
right.
be constantly manipulating and changing and analyzing things to try to achieve that or get as close to achieving that as possible. Because, of course,
Yeah.
there's no such thing as truth, there's no such thing as perfection, but you can get kind of near.
Yeah, I mean, like there are some things that are guarantees, like entropy.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
because entropy is guaranteed,
Well, that's why you got to keep working
right,
because it's always going to be unraveling.
exactly.
Uh-huh.
And that's why we need a government boot camp.
Yep. Hell
Because
yeah.
ideas like that have to be central to
Uh-huh.
the way politicians are thinking.
I I would watch that, honestly.
And
Like if you vote somebody in and they win and they're like crawling through the mud under barbed wire and shit, like
I
there's a
mean,
drill instructor yelling at them.
in
Like,
reality, an actual politician boot camp would be boring. Like it doesn't
no,
it's not having to prepare them to go into battle or
no, but
have all these physical feats
it
of
would be fun. You have to admit, like it would bring in the revenue.
yeah. I mean, like I would say like do that as a fun thing on the side with your ad revenue, but actually have a real one that is
Yeah,
broadcast on PBS and stuff like that.
yeah,
That is, like educational. Like it's
more
also good
philosophical.
yeah, it's also good because, kids like you and me that grew up watching PBS
Hmm.
would have really uh, gained a lot of uh, important core knowledge about how the government works and stuff to
Hmm.
be able to watch something like that. Effectively watching other people get their education in
Yeah.
how to uh, serve the people and
Hmm. It
and to
should be
understand what that
service.
means. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I graduated high school having zero clue about how the government worked.
I
Like,
had.
like I know you could take civics classes and political science, this and that,
Mhm.
if you wanted to. I didn't. It didn't appeal to
Well,
me back then.
and that
Yeah,
speaks to kind of maybe where things are in that why there's such a political divide.
yeah,
Like if you talk to the average person and you just dismiss politics and talk about problems that need to be solved, almost everybody agrees on the same problems.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, there's a few outliers and whatnot, but basically everybody agrees on things. It, but if you start with politics, everybody gets all angry. And I'm like, why are you angry?
Yeah.
It's a fucking checkbox. That's all it is. It is a checkbox. How come you're angry? Um, and then of course, it's all whipped up and it's foamed up, and everybody's all in a frenzy, angry at each other and stuff. And it's like, we haven't solved any problems that we care about, but we've gone to war.
Right.
You know, like we're fucking dropping bombs halfway across the planet. Is that what you want? Or shouldn't we work on solving problems that we all agree are problems?
You know,
Like,
what was it, 2003 when Bush came out with that banner that said mission accomplished? And
oh man.
and we're still there. Um,
Well,
like,
technically, we're not there. Um, like, oh yeah, we've left. Yeah,
but
but yeah,
yeah,
it was basically right after that happened. Like, oh, mission accomplished. And now, we've subbed Iran and Afghanistan, or Iraq and Afghanistan for Iran. We're in there now.
yeah,
Like, oh, yay. Wow, that's great.
it's fucking ridiculous.
Meanwhile, there's people who, I don't know, Social Security would be nice if that worked.
Yeah,
Um, cool story, bro, that your fucking aircraft carriers are hauling ass, and your fighter jets and all that stuff. Be nice if the things that people paid into we could extract from.
yeah. I saw Megadeth last week, and before he tore into Holy Wars, he was like, "Yeah, there's another bunch of chuckle fucks going to war in the Middle East. Here we go again."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, it
and
kind of is.
that, like there's like kind of like the last line in that song is like, because I don't say just because I don't say it doesn't mean I ain't thinking it. Next thing you
Mm-hmm.
know, they'll take my thoughts away. Like,
Yeah.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
that feels very close to coming true sometimes. And
And people keep voting. This is, I guess, my problem.
yeah,
Is people keep
if you think
voting.
about it, they have already taken our thoughts away.
Oh
Like,
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
it's crazy. Like,
and they're taxing our feet now. Um, Beatles song. Um,
I mean, yeah, like I've known for a long time that voting is useless.
Hmm.
Um, Only for a brief time did I actually really involve myself in it. And even then, it's more like, yeah, I might buy a lottery ticket every once in a while, but I don't actually think I'm going to win.
No,
Or,
no,
like,
it's predetermined. This is the thing
yeah,
people need
local
to
voting,
understand.
okay, that's one thing, but
Very local, like city
yeah.
level stuff. Like, okay, maybe you have a chance of making a difference. However, you can also run for mayor, which I've thought about doing for
Yeah.
Tacoma, like running for mayor of Tacoma. Um, I mean, it'd be a hell of a paycheck. That'd be nice. Um, but
And you don't have to do anything either.
no, you don't. But I would like because I care about this city. Like I
Mm.
care about this place. I want to make a difference. And I know for a fact if I try to make a difference, there's going to be a bunch of idiots that get in the way. They're like, "Oh no, you can't do that. Oh, you can't do that because of this and this and like, well, what the fuck is the point of being a mayor
Yeah.
if you can't actually affect change?"
I wonder if there's any like laws on the books that say like as mayor you wouldn't be allowed to do this show or something.
Hmm,
Because if not, I think that would actually be a great idea.
that'd be
Like,
cool. Yeah.
if you ran for mayor and then kept doing the show and just like
I would. I like
just yeah.
I have no fucking shame, bro. Like I will keep doing this. Like I'm just me.
Yep.
You know, I'm not going to be like, "Oh, well, I'm going to kowtow to this group or that." Fuck that. I'm just
It's
me.
it's not actually that expensive to put your name in the hat for political office
Yeah.
either. It's a
Yeah.
few hundred to
Hmm.
put your name on the ballot, and like
Well, it's coming up. I might do it.
might as well, like, just
Yeah.
as a statement even.
Yeah.
um because of course, the campaigning is additional costs and stuff
Well,
that
you don't even have
will
to
far exceed
campaign
that,
in
but
Tacoma. You
yeah,
just
that's
like
true.
put up a couple signs here and there. And actually, maybe I would campaign on that. I don't put up signs because it's like environmentally destructive. Like I take personal issue with all these campaign signs that pop up year after year, and they just stick these signs down, and then they throw them away or whatever. I don't know. Like, no, I don't want a sign. It's like, it's very
Well,
annoying.
yeah. What was that line I had in Revolution Spark? Uh, Decisions are swayed by signs and lawns. Now it's too late
Yep.
to change your mind.
Yep. Hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
uh, that was some pretty poignant lyrics for someone who actually, at that age, didn't even understand all that much about how the government works. But
No,
like,
it's
I was able
really
to see
good.
that, like, why are there people that just see a sign and say, I guess that's the guy I'll vote for? Like
Mm-hmm.
that's actually the kind
More,
of, like fascia sort of stuff that
yeah,
is
and like, oh, because this person has more signs out.
right. Yeah.
Now I'm going to vote for that person. Well, how about you actually listen to what they have to say and go from there? Not be like, well, because we all know it's a popularity contest, sadly.
Yeah.
It's like, how beautiful are you, or how many famous people are behind you, or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. It isn't great ideas. Obviously, obviously, it's not great ideas because, like, politicians, they never have great ideas. They always go with like the stupid ideas. Like the stupid,
Hmm.
it's like movie producers. Like, oh, well, how stupid can we make this movie? Like, oh, let's take this really good idea and make it dumb. That's politics. And that's where I think we need to separate from that system and be like, you know what, we should build a system that benefits people, that helps people, that is for us, not for them, it's for us. um it's going to be a challenge though.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, well,
It's
we're about 2 hours in, so yeah. And
yeah, it's
I got to use the head and it's
getting
late
late.
over there, so sorry,
Yeah,
got a little bit distracted as as I do. But I think
yeah.
it's important, and it's like food for thought. Like
If we
people should be thinking about things.
if we weren't doing live, we should put Revolution Spark at the end, but
Oh yeah.
it's been a minute since we've had music in the show. So.
Yeah, but we have one fan video that I did Friday, so check
Yeah.
that out. Feeling Blue
Of
by
course, you can always go on your favorite streaming platform and find Revolution Spark and listen
Yep,
to it.
true.
Because it's some really good, catchy, thought-provoking lyrics in there.
Hmm.
You're opting out liberty for oppression,
Yeah.
ruled by enforcement, electricity.
Oh man, that's such a good song.
Take tomorrow for granted while they shock out.
Shock out. Some Billy Idol level shit, by the way. Awesome.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks
Uh,
for deep sink diving into government boot camp.
Boot camp, yep. And wars and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah. Just in general, how to make things better.
I mean, that is our goal.
Yep.
Like, I don't want votes. I don't want money. I want to leave the world a better place. Leave it better than you can.